Yo, how's everybody doing on this beautiful sunny day? Hey, my name is Derek, and I am back again to talk about the New York SEAP program, Self-Employment Assistance Program, specifically the New York chapter division. I believe SEAP is in all 50 states, but I live in New York, so I specifically want to talk about the New York portion of it, and just kind of give you guys an update. If you haven't seen my first video to date, so far, I probably have the most comprehensive video that kind of really walks you through the SEAP program and kind of really gives you an idea of what to expect. When I was entering into the program, I was trying to, on the SEAP website, it gives you information about the SEAP program. But, I was really looking for someone to say, hey, this is kind of what I went through. This is kind of, what it takes. This is kind of what you have to go through. That didn't exist. So I created what I think is probably one of the most comprehensive ones that kind of really walks you through the forms and stuff like that. And so that was a little over a year ago. So I just want to come back and kind of give you an update on where I am, kind of my thoughts and my opinions and stuff like that. So a little bit of my background. I worked in financial services for well over 15 years. Started at Chase Manhattan Bank before JP Morgan, before any of those mergers, in finance at Chase, and pretty much started in the mailroom, delivering internally in the office, but also delivering to other Chase Manhattan locations, whether it was in the city or in Brooklyn, downtown. So pretty much where I got my start, and worked my way up to check processing, to input, to actually having my own accounts. Left Chase, went back to school for computer programming, then became a MIS analyst, business analyst, and worked at Bank of America, Citibank, HSBC, until I actually had to enroll in the SEAP program because I actually got laid off from HSBC. And when I got laid off from HSBC, that was my second layoff in about 5 years. And if you've been laid off, you kind of know the drill. Usually a little bit after your review time, end of the year, probably around Thanksgiving or around Christmas, and you are notified that you are being let go, your division, your department, not just you, you're not being fired, but you and a few hundred people, a few thousand people are being let go for whatever reason, relocation or whatever excuse or whatever reason they come up with that you're being let go. So that was it. It was right before Thanksgiving. Just had my review where I met all my goals. Everything was great, but hey, congratulations. Here's your notification that you're being let go. So this was, like I said, this was my second layoff in about 4 years. So I was a little bit nervous this time around, and I was a little bit, angry, this time around. I understand what layoffs are and I understand, why they happen. But then also, again, this being my second one, I was a little apprehensive, to say the least, about going right back into financial services. So obviously being laid off, I had to apply for unemployment. I have a wife, I have 2 kids. At that time, my youngest was around 1 year old. I think we were getting ready to enroll him into a daycare program. And so I was like, I need to enroll in unemployment. And then when I enrolled in unemployment, via New York State, I saw this other option, for obviously traditional unemployment where you look for a job and stuff like that and you go and check in. But then also there was this other option for the Self-Employment Assistance Program where, you have the option of, not, necessarily looking for another job, but, starting your own business. And, I dibbled and dabbled in fashion. I at that time, even while I was working at Bank of America, I had a vinyl machine and a heat press, and kind of just making my own stuff, making my own clothes to go with sneakers and stuff like that. So I said, hey, me and my wife talked about it, and I said, hey, this seems like an interesting program where I can, still collect my unemployment, but actually pursue, this business, avenue. So that's what I did. Entered into the program, and that was about a year ago. So made it through the program, obviously, successfully completed everything. And so just kind of want to give you guys an update on, where I am now, what's going on now. So as of now, today, I think this is May of 2019, I operate two businesses. The clothing business that, I started with the vinyl machine and the heat press, is a full clothing line, that I run, named UNFLTRD Passion. I have that business, and then also the business that I started via the SEAP program, Passion Paint Print, which is a screen printing business. And with that business, I purchased a 6-color press, purchased a drying machine, all kind of paints and inks and all kind of stuff to go with it. All right, so let me share my thoughts on the SEAP program. So if you've never seen the other video, definitely go back and watch the video, because it kind of walks you through the forms and information like that. But a year later, a year removed, my thoughts on the program are, it's good, kind of for what it is, and you kind of have to, it's really kind of, I really want to give a simple answer, a really quick answer, but it's good in that, the mentors, whether it's through SCORE or whether it's through the Small Business Development Corporation, I believe the name, the SBDC. So they have mentors that you can go to and meet with that doesn't cost you anything, nothing but time. And, usually I know SCORE is retired entrepreneurs. I didn't go take a mentor through the SBDC, but, I believe they're retired as well. So that resource is invaluable. You can go as much as you want. You just have to go to the website and make an appointment, and you can really just go and speak to a mentor unlimited amount of time. So, that part of it is good. The part of the SEAP program that I think you really have to think about before going into it really is, or just around resources, right? Because, if you are applying for the SEAP program, that means you've been unemployed. And chances are you may have some money saved, you may have, savings or 401k or something like that. But I'll probably venture that you really don't have, hundreds of thousands of dollars, just sitting around to start to start your business. And that's something that you really need to think about. Chances are you don't have tons of money, tons of cash laying around. And for a business to be successful, you need money. And that's kind of really my only gripe with it, is that I think it's a great resource, but at the same time, it's kind of, I guess, marketed towards those of us who actually need money and really don't have enough money to really invest and to really get your idea, your creation off the ground. Now, in my case, with UNFLTRD Passion and Passion Paint Print, I spent a lot of money on the equipment, but, I did it, really on a shoestring budget. I only bought, the stuff I need. So a screen printing business, just take that for example. For a screen printing business, the customer can essentially pay for everything. So outside of my initial investment of purchasing the screen printing press and the dryer and stuff like that, and the inks, that I needed on hand to begin with and really to learn, my craft on. Outside of that, like the shirts or, whatever garment or hat is being used, that money comes from the client, from their purchase. So I was able to find vendors and set up wholesale accounts where if someone bought, say, 100 shirts, I can get those shirts the next day. And I wouldn't purchase the shirts until the client paid, and then, so they pretty much paid for it. So, it's kind of on it's definitely on a shoestring budget, but at the same time, where I find myself hampered at is really just growing the business, right? So, when you have the obligation of, your child's daycare or your mortgage payment, and that money that came in from your sale, or whatever your product or whatever your business is, that money that you got in, from your business, it's sometimes it becomes a choice of reinvesting in the business versus, paying the bills. So, that's just one thing to think about. It's really just how much resources you have. It's definitely a great program. So it's definitely a great program, definitely a lot of information, but, really think about, your resources of, running your business. Like if you have a storefront, so I didn't open up a storefront. Everything I'm doing is in my home. Thank God, I have a basement, so I use my basement area, which my wife can't stand, because she wants to do the basement over, but my screen printing equipment, pretty much takes up most of the basement area, so, that's, kind of, things you need to think about are your resources. So if you want to open up a storefront, chances are you're going to need, the money for the lease, and then money for the inventory in that storefront. I only buy the inventory when I get an order from a client, and that's both businesses. Both businesses are pretty much, I would say, print on demand. Even my clothing line is print on demand. So I can make designs and I can post them to my website, but when someone orders, then I actually print that design and I use their money to actually purchase the blank shirt or the blank, hoodie or whatever the case may be. So good for information purposes, but then chances are if you don't have a lot of money, you may need to think about, where you're going to get money from, where you're going to get those resources, whether it's borrowing it, whether it's taking out a loan, because SEAP will not, give you money outside of your unemployment check. So my recommendations, if you're, still at the beginning stages or you're still kind of going through it, you're still really not sure about the SEAP program, again, I'll say it's an invaluable resource, just using those mentors alone. But one thing, or a few things that I think that if you do it and if you go through the program, that you should definitely take advantage of. Part of it, it's not mandatory in the forms, but when you're taking your training classes, I know through the SBDC, they talked a lot about a business plan. I highly recommend doing a business plan. And I say that because I did not do a business plan. I did all the required forms, and I did not walk through the business plan. And so I found myself constantly taking out a notepad or taking out my phone and kind of writing down, okay, how am I going to do marketing? Am I going to do it on Instagram? Am I going to do it on Facebook? Who's my target market? Now, I wrote this stuff down probably about 7 to 10 times in 10 different areas. But that's kind of what your business plan walks through. Your business plan walks through marketing. Your business plan is pretty much a roadmap to how you're going to run your business, how you're going to get your business off the ground, and how you're going to run your business. I mean, marketing, your colors of your logo, everything, all that stuff should go in a business plan. So I'm actually in the process of doing a business plan right now, and there are some free resources. I have to go through my stuff again. There are some free resources that you can message me, email me, or I definitely want to add it to the description of this, where you can some software that you can get that will help you through the business plan. But your business plan is your roadmap. So instead of me writing down in a few, on about 10 different Post-it notes and pads and in my phone, I really should have just sat down and did the business plan to begin with and really just had all that information already done and already readily available. So I recommend doing a business plan. And then you definitely need to think about marketing, which goes into the business plan, but you definitely need marketing. If you build it, they will not come just because you built it. You will have family, you will have friends that definitely will, support your business. But chances are your family and friends are not your target market. They can only do but so much. You're really going to need, to have, a marketing plan, a marketing budget, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google AdWords. Sometimes it's using, just other resource. Maybe if you have a product that you're selling, you put it up on Amazon or Etsy or Redbubble, or, definitely take advantage of, putting together a marketing plan, because people have to know about your product, for you to sell the product. Door to door. So I went door to door. I have a screen printing business. I printed out my own flyers, color printer, went to Staples, got, some flyer paper, printed out, front and back color flyer, went business to business. Wow. That was so not for me. I was just so nervous. I don't know why. I've been literally printing probably for about a few years now, just myself, even before starting the business. But just that door-to-door aspect of it, I was just so, nervous. I got through it. And then my wife was like, oh, you should go back out and do it again. But I think the next, after I did it, I was going to go out again the next week. And then I think 2 days later, I think I put out a $10 ad on Facebook. Took a video or some, I don't remember, what I think it was a video that I did of me just screen printing with my business information. Put that video up on, did a Facebook ad, and I actually got, now from going door to door, I don't think I received any phone calls, from the business I went to, but from the Facebook ad, I got, I think probably like 50 phone calls, from that Facebook ad. So the world is changing. You can reach more people with the Facebook and Instagram ad than you can with going door to door. Now, going door to door, you may say is free, but it's not really free because time is money. So definitely you have to think about marketing, your target market, and having a marketing plan. But then also I recommend having some money. Having, whether you take out a loan from a bank, whether you borrow money from family members, definitely you have to get your hands on money to execute the marketing plan and to keep your business afloat. New businesses, small businesses fail all the time. And the reason is not because the idea isn't great, but it takes time for your product to really catch on, with your target market. And you're going to need money to sustain yourself and to sustain your lifestyle, pay your mortgage, and things of that nature. So, definitely look into what avenues are available. People say don't go into your 401k, don't go into your retirement. I mean, that's for you to decide. But there's also grants out there. I think FedEx has a small business grant. Listen, Google is my friend, your friend. our friend. So you could definitely, look for grants. I would definitely say, look for some grants. I definitely know FedEx has one, a grant that they give out yearly, and I think there's some other organizations. I think Shopify, does something. If you have like a Shopify website, they have like a contest where they give money and give mentorship. Definitely, look into, those kind of resources. And also, if you are, considered a minority, definitely look for some minority business grants, some minority business opportunities. And then also, you should look for, registering as a minority business. I'm not, depending on what your business is, if you're a dry cleaner, for say, maybe register, with New York State as a small business, and maybe you can get contracts, to do the dry cleaning for New York. Just think outside of the box and just try to find whatever resources that you can. Something else that you should definitely think about, though, and this is, really kind of important to me, is that here I am, a year later. So in financial services for, again, well over 15 years, 15 plus years of experience in financial services. And so for about a year now, I've been pursuing my entrepreneurship, this entrepreneurial lifestyle. And then, but, through it, it's been ups and downs, it's been rough, it's been hard. So, I've also, had my resume out because, again, I have a wife, I have 2 kids, they need clothes, one's 15, one is 3 now. So I need clothes, need food and stuff, mortgage to pay. And so, I've definitely looked at re-entering, the workforce. And I'm going to tell you, before you pursue this, really think about it, because it's almost like I've been penalized in a way for, I guess, having that gap on my resume, for, 15 plus years of experience of, saving, every bank I've worked for millions of dollars, through automation and just through other projects. It's been really hard to even get an interview, not only for jobs that are above what I did, not only for jobs that were exactly what I did, but even for jobs that were a little bit below. Like I've done above, I've done below, and I've done jobs that were exactly, what I left over a year ago. When I got laid off, not even I left. When I got laid off from, I've applied for jobs, and like the phone just does not ring. And the only thing I can think of, it's that gap in my resume. Maybe because I'm a male, and the few calls that I do get, the few phone screens that I get, it's always about, what's this gap about? What's the, why it's been, why have you, left the job, or, not been employed for almost a year? That's always the main question, like, why is this gap? So I actually started putting my business on my resume, but, that really hasn't. So really just think about, before you pursue this, because I kind of feel like, again, I'm being penalized, because I've even had, and I'm not saying like my resume, I've worked hard on my resume. I've had other HR professionals look at it. I have other business people who are in the field who are still doing the same thing. And they said, like this resume, that they're like, no, send me a resume. There has to be something wrong with it. And then they look at it and literally, other than some punctuation stuff, or maybe a run-on sentence here and there, resume is actually excellent. It has, not just stuff that I've done, but also, actions like save this and, created that, led this, so there's really no other reason, that I've had about 7 different people say they have no clue, why the phone, just isn't ringing. So really think about that part also before you pursue this, because if you're going to be out of work for a long time, it may hurt you. I definitely feel like it's hurt me, as far as looking for a job. But now I'm, just kind of said, forget this. I'm just kind of really going 150% with, both of these businesses. I'm getting ready to do a couple of events this summer, really just getting out there, getting in front of people, really kind of making a name for myself, and really kind of getting in front of, the target market, my target consumer, really trying to shake hands and kiss babies. So listen, I just wanted to kind of come back a year later. I'm still here. Still have Passion Paint Print, the screen printing business. Still have Unfiltered Passion, the clothing line. So you definitely can do it. But, again, heed what I said about, doing a business plan. Think about your marketing, and, think about, where you're going to get the money, where you're going to get the funds from, to keep yourself afloat. And if you're going to do it, you may need to do it at the same time. If you're going to still look for a job, you may need to look for a job, at the same time as you're pursuing this business. I waited, almost a year later. And, a lot of that might have been ego, because here I am with 15 plus years of experience as a senior business analyst. And I've, done, great work, at every company I've worked for. So part of it might have been ego, where I thought I had, 6 months, 8 months, and then I could just jump back in. But maybe that's not the case. Or maybe, I'm really being led in another direction where, I'm going to be happy. I don't know. But, really just think about that before you pursue it. Didn't mean to ramble on. Hope you made it through this. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up in the comments. I get the alert, and I'll definitely, try to answer as quick as I can. I definitely will answer. So, hit me up, anything else I can help you with. And hopefully I can come back again, real soon. So I'm gonna try to come back again real soon after I do the trade shows and stuff, and just kind of give you an update, hopefully some motivation, let you guys know that you can do it also. You can be successful, in this and pursuing your business. So thank you guys so much. Like, subscribe, follow, all of that. Passion Paint Print, Unfiltered Passion are both on Instagram, both on Facebook. Good luck to you guys. I'm rooting for you. Even in the comment, let me know what your business is, what business you're getting into, how far you are. Hey, let's just have a dialogue. If you want to see another video, some behind the scenes, whatever, just let me know, and I will definitely, do my best to accommodate you. You guys have a good one. Get out, enjoy this beautiful sunny day. You have a good one.